We begin tonight with breaking news. A verdict is reached in a tragic child murder case.
This afternoon, a jury found Michael Patino guilty of second-degree murder in the death of 6-year-old Marco Neves.
The little boy was beaten to death in Cranston back in 2009, and justice delayed for years because of a dispute over incriminating cell phone evidence.
Eyewitness News reporter Jared Pliner is live outside Providence Superior Court with the breaking details.
Mike Shannon, good evening. That's right. This case a long time coming as far as murder cases go, and what jurors ultimately heard was heart-wrenching. In a 2009 case that languished for years amid controversy over cell phone evidence, a Providence County jury Wednesday found Michael Patino guilty of second-degree murder in the beating death of his girlfriend's son, 6-year-old Marco Neves of Cranston. Prosecutors had sought a first-degree conviction. Neves' biological father declined to comment after the verdict. Colonel Michael Winquist leads the Cranston Police.
With a child of that age and the manner of death, it was very difficult for many of our members of our department. So that's why today we're relieved.
Patino admitted in text messages to Marco's mother he punched the kindergarten-age boy to make him behave more like a man. Marco died of internal injuries. The defense took aim at the mother, arguing Marco died because of her failure to seek medical care for some 15 hours as the boy vomited and lost consciousness. Patino's attorney claimed she was too concerned with obtaining marijuana to come to Marco's aid. The Attorney General's office declined to comment on whether charges are forthcoming against Neves' mother. Judge Nettie Vogel did not set a sentencing date. Second-degree murder carries a sentence of 10 years to life. Patino's already been behind bars for 6. The AG's office tells us he turned down a deal of 35 years before trial. And coming up on Eyewitness News at 6, Colonel Michael Winquist talks very forthrightly about that controversial cell phone evidence that almost didn't make it to the jury box, and it set a very important precedent. That matter did, that legal question here in the state of Rhode Island. Live outside Providence Superior Court tonight with the Providence Mobile Newsroom, I'm Jared Pliner, Eyewitness News.
We begin with breaking news. A man accused of beating a Cranston child to death has been found guilty.
A jury has convicted Michael Patino of second-degree murder. Investigators say he beat to death his girlfriend's son.
Marco Neves was just 6 years old. New at 6, investigators address an important piece of evidence that almost didn't make it to trial.
Eyewitness News reporter Jared Pliner joins us now live outside Providence Superior Court.
Mike Shannon, good evening. It took a considerable amount of time to go to trial because of multiple appeals. Attorneys even trying to get the nation's highest court involved. 6 years after the 2009 beating death of Cranston's 6-year-old Marco Neves, Providence County jurors found Michael Patino guilty of the second-degree murder of his girlfriend's son. Patino admitted to punching the young boy in text messages to Marco's mother. But a few years ago, Judge Judith Savage, who did not preside over this trial, threw the evidence out in a scathing, nearly 200-page opinion, blasting Cranston Police's seizure of the phone's contents.
Went beyond anything I personally have seen in my career, and I just thought that it was unwarranted.
Colonel Winquist was not in charge then. The case would set precedent in Rhode Island and receive national attention.
The U.S. Supreme Court wouldn't even hear the case. Rhode Island Supreme Court overturned her decision. So, we're happy with that decision. We feel that it's the appropriate decision. That evidence was important, and we're glad that it was allowed in.
Winquist said he couldn't speculate on how important jurors considered the text. They found Patino not guilty of first-degree murder, a conviction prosecutors had hoped for. I also asked Colonel Winquist if he and his team are let down because of the second-degree murder conviction as opposed to first-degree, which prosecutors had sought. And the way he answered that was by noting that a life sentence is still a possibility. It is indeed the scope 10 years to life. We'll see what happens. Live with the Providence Mobile Newsroom, I'm Jared Pliner, Eyewitness News.